ZK rollups and zero knowledge proofs and zero knowledge authentication. Which
I've heard about them.
Unbelievable piece of tech. Unbelievable.
Super tech. That's where super comes in.
So, I mean, it's an unbelievable
It's a whole new world.
Because
with zero knowledge?
Yeah.
It's a whole new world.
Zero knowledge is basically minimum viable proof that I need. So, let's say the example that I saw yesterday watching Superpoint's podcast on zero knowledge proofs was, say, Alice and Bob are sitting. They're on top of a marketplace scene. There's a guy called Walden who's walking around. Akshay on the podcast explained this. So full disclosure, this is not me. I'm not this intelligent. Anyway, so Alice wants to tell Bob that she knows where Walden is in the whole market scene. A lot of people here. But she doesn't want to do it by pointing, because then Bob will know where he is. She just wants to prove that she knows where Walden is without telling you. So minimum viable proof would be like, you want to tell me that you're above 18 without telling me your age. You just want to prove that you're above 18. And that is enough. You know what I mean? So if you were transacting,
I'll just show you my PAN card like this.
No, but then so the thing is, then if you to complete that example, what Alice can do, I mean, what you can do to tell someone a location of someone that you know where they are without pointing. What do you do?
I don't know.
So what Alice would do is,
without pointing out, I tell their location is by
what can you do?
I mean, I can click the picture would reveal the location.
Yeah.
Or let me think about it. I thought I give me some
one.
What can they do? Is like they can share location history, but not the.
But then you would track him, right?
Yeah, that's one point. What the fuck, man? Who comes up with all these
things? So what Alice would do is, as Akshay told, she would draw a sheet over the whole marketplace, a big sheet that would cover the whole scene. Then she would cut out a piece from the sheet which would cover Walden, and then over the whole sheet she'll cut out the piece where Walden is and show Walden. So the relative position of Walden, Bob would not know.
Wait. Can you do that again?
So if there's a whole sheet over the marketplace, and then you cut out a piece exactly equal to the space that Walden holds.
Alright.
And then you show him from the cutout. You don't have the sense of where he is in the whole scene.
Oh, alright.
But then Alice can tell Bob that, see, I know where he is. Bob still doesn't know where actually, if the sheet was
lifted. She can even cut out a bigger circle, like here, in somewhere in this circle.
No. He can just cut out a small circle, exactly how big Walden is, point it out. Bob can see Walden from top, and then take the whole sheet away. So Bob still doesn't know where Walden is, because when he saw Walden, there was a sheet. So if it's a large enough sheet, you're in a desert, you don't know where you are, right? So you don't have the relative sense of where he is. But she proved that she knows where Walden is without telling Bob his exact location. You know what I'm saying?
I got confused. Okay, so it might be an intelligent thing to, think a lot about.
So if the sheet is big enough, you don't have the relative sense of where you are. Say if you're in a desert, you don't know where you are, where you're going, right?
I'm standing in a desert right now.
Right. So imagine it like that. He's a single person in the whole desert. So Alice has just told him that here is Walden. But when the sheet is not there, he's in some marketplace. So Bob doesn't know exactly where he is.
So she removes the sheet.
After the sheet is removed, he doesn't know where he is. The sheet was big enough to not let him know the relative position.
अबे कौन आ रहा है इन चीज़ों कौन सोच रहा है UPSC वगैरह करो ये क्या शूट लगा दिया
this is an example of what is zero knowledge proof is. So the minimum viable proof. So to convert it to a transactional example, say you made a transaction.
Yeah.
I just need the proof that the transaction was made.
Yeah.
For that, I don't require your address, my address.
Yeah. So there can be a third number, that is transaction number.
I mean, just the zero knowledge proof, just the minimum proof that I need to make sure that this transaction was made without having the addresses out there.
Yeah.
So a famous company known as Zcash, I'm sure
I've heard about it.
So Zcash came up with this. Zcash has been working on cryptography and in this space for years and years. This is years and years of work. And Tanmay, I think we'll link that episode. It was a great episode. 17 minutes video, which kind of explained what ZK rollups and zero knowledge proofs are. It's a whole another word.
I knew about zero knowledge, right? So what I knew about zero knowledge was that it does require minimum amount of information.
Yeah. So,
but I just didn't know how they do it. So I knew about ZK rollups a bit.
Yeah,
I read tweets on ZK.
So this is what's being happening in Ethereum, because Ethereum, as we said, uses proof of work for now. So they're working on going to proof of stake completely. So that will be ETH 2.0, as a lot of people hear. So that means that Ethereum will no longer have proof of work. It will move on to proof of stake. So, but then also transactions and scalability needs to be increased. And as we have spoken about the scalability trilemma, as Vitalik said, that either you can so there's 3 pointers on the triangle. There's scalability, security, and decentralization. So what he says is that you can only maximize 2.
Yeah.
If you get security and scalability, you lose out on decentralization.
Yeah.
If you think about it, normal exchanges are secure and safe, but they're not centralized. Or they're not decentralized. So what he says is, if you increase security and decentralization, you lose out on scalability. You lose out on numbers.
Problem.
So proof for Solana tends to be the optimal solution right now. As of now, I don't see a problem in that. So I mean, I'm high on that.
With more security, I mean, there are restrictions again to the
right. Then you can't scale.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, that's
if you think about it. So what Ethereum is doing for scalability is like we say Matic. So Matic is a side chain. So the transactions that happen on Matic chain are not happening on Ethereum's main chain. They're happening on kind of a side track, and then those transactions happen, and then they go back on the chain after happening. So the transactional time that it takes
is less,
and it relieves the Ethereum chain of the burden, kind of.
No gas fees.
Right. I'm generalizing a lot of terms here, but so that is how Matic works. So that is why gas fees is lower on Matic.
Even processing power is quite lower.
Yeah, because first of all, Matic is proof of stake.
Yeah.
So that is how it works. So there are a lot of things happening on Ethereum right now. Arbitrum is also like Matic, another side chain.
Yeah.
So what ZK, zero knowledge proofs, will help in is, say there are a lot of side chains.
Yeah.
And on those side chains, a lot of side chains.
Yeah.
So after a point, you just need a proof of the transactions happening. Yeah. So you don't need to have all that data transferred to the main chain.
And that saves a lot of computing power.
You can just combine them, bundle them up, which is called a roll-up in technical jargon. And then you have a signature on that, which is called as ZK rollup. And
unique signature.
That signature means that those transactions happen using minimum proof. You don't need the transaction address, you don't need all that. Yeah. And then that signature can go onto the main chain. The main chain knows that these transactions happen. And for sure they happen. So that's how ETH is wanting to move ahead.
I mean, this is super crazy.
This is what these economic times are dealing with. The economist is dealing with. They think they can beat the ingenuity. All the best.
Go ahead. I mean,
go ahead, fight.
Let me see what you guys can come up with. I mean, what you'll do? You'll take the plug off. I mean, you can computer switch off कर देगा क्या?
What's the?
No. Like,
what's the strategy? I want to know where the confidence comes from.
How they'll fight back to what is happening in the tech space right now. There is no answer to it. I mean, it's truly said. You know, when you want to लोहे को काटना is to cut metal you need metal.
लोहे को काटता.
Exactly. But to beat tech, you come up with more refined tech that supports the previous tech.
And where are the best people in tech involved right now?
Crypto.
Tell them.
Cryptocurrencies. on the more decentralized finance, cryptocurrency, not just cryptography.
Yeah, 15-year-olds working in protocols.
Doing this. I mean,